Welcome aboard. After years cruising the North Pacific, we are embarking on a journey south to warmer waters. This is our story day by day as we explore Mexico's beautiful Baja coast. Come along and experience daily cruising life as we do. The fish boat was gone yesterday and just returned this morning, and this little yellow boat slash landing craft is tethered onto it.
Here comes some crates or something. Or is that more pots? Yeah, I just can't tell.
Maybe we can zoom this in a little bit.
Did you talk about this yellow vehicle and that it has tires and they just drive it up onto the road?
I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's no dock. I mean, there's a dock here, but they don't go to it. So they don't have to beach this and unload at the beach. This thing has tires and drives down the road.
Or the beach for that matter, yeah. It just drives.
Pretty darn productive and efficient, I suspect.
We're starting to get things ready for tomorrow and taking off tomorrow, and Jim is looking through the fishing gear with some helpers.
Yeah, but I'm all set up for salmon and halibut fishing, so we're going to have to work on the right gear. But we got something here we can drag through the water tomorrow, since a bunch of you asked about fishing. So we're gonna throw a line back there and give it a try, see what happens. Nothing to lose. Just teach a lure how to swim would be about it. So we'll give it a try.
In the lazarette next to the freezer, we have the trusty can crusher. Jim's gonna go to work. We have transitioned from bottled beer to canned, and of course there's soda cans. Jim's struggling. Soda cans that are tall and skinny in this country, and this is just one way to keep them taking up as little space as possible and have as little garbage as possible. So one of the things we do try to do is minimize our garbage generation, because we do need to find places to get rid of it.
Hey, down in the lazarette, I explained to people that we have the soda streams that like the carbonated water on board, but you really can't get these when you're cruising very effectively, and I don't know if you can get them at all in Mexico. So we have a CO2 tank that we got way back in Everett. We've had it filled actually a couple times. This little whole valve unit is from Amazon. I think it was about 50 bucks. Comes with good directions. Basically put it on the tank, close it here, and there's a little trick to this, I suppose, and that's to very slowly open this, because there's something in these tanks that prevent it from, in theory, refilling at too fast of a speed or whatever. I don't know, we only have about 500 psi in this tank, so that's as far as they go. Really, I think it's only about half full for these tanks compared to when you buy one. But we're able to refill it all the time whenever we want. Alright, occasionally when the generator is running, I duck my head into the engine room and check the generator, make sure it all looks good, so let's go do that. But we have a 16 kilowatt Northern Lights generator. We have just under 5,000 hours on her, so she's doing great. So I just come down occasionally, open the panel, make sure all looks good, no kind of leaking or anything. Good. Hope you can hear me. He's pulling. He is pulling. Oh. Here's Rosie filming a new audio to our intro for our Mexico vlog, and then we have to work on the video since it's all from Alaska. Welcome aboard. After years cruising the North Pacific, Scott noticed that he saw Barkley wearing his harness, what we call in jail, for jumping off the boat when we were in Ensenada, and that he had a little air tag hanging on it. and how did that work? How was that working? And there's an Apple AirTag that you can track with your phone, and it works great. Really, it just gives us peace of mind in case he goes and wanders and tours the boats like we do in a marina, that we can find him if we need to. But we really haven't had to use it, but it works great. Bruce had a great question. He noticed in our videos from Ensenada that we checked out and got the officially stamped paperwork from the port captain that we could leave Ensenada. And we told him our planned next port was Cabo, so that's what's on the paperwork, and they gave us permission to anchor along the way to Cabo. So, that's how we could be here and stuff. There is no port captain that I'm aware of here in Turtle Bay or Bahia Tortuga. And we've read that there might be places going down the line where a port captain may come out and want to see your paperwork. But they also told us in Ensenada that when we get to Cabo to call the port captain on the radio, and he may or may not want to bother with you checking in. So we're just going to have to learn as we go and report back to you. But it seems pretty laid back so far. But we'll see how that goes. But right now our paperwork says Cabo's our next port of check-in, and we can anchor along the way. Beyond that, who knows? But great question, Bruce. Scott asked what type of anchor we have and what type of anchor we think is the best kind of anchor to have. Two-part question. So we have a 120-pound CQR anchor on the bow with 400 feet of half-inch chain. We also have 2 additional anchors, another CQR the same size, and a big Danforth anchor. What's the best kind of anchor? Yeah, that's like asking people who should be president of the United States. People have really, really strong opinions about this. But I'll tell you my opinion, and that is that I don't have one about the best anchor. I think the best anchor is the biggest one your boat can reasonably hold with the largest amount of size and length of chain that your boat can reasonably hold. I think bigger is better, in my opinion, over type. So whatever works for you. In all our years, to the best of our knowledge, we have never drug at anchor. Never. So that's my approach on the anchoring. This wraps up this Q&A session. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment on YouTube or you can email, and we'll try to keep answering them. So now, back to the regular scheduled programming. We have strange cats. When Rosie pulls out the cat brush, they both come running. They just love getting brushed.
They do. A little afternoon tidying up. I'm doing windows. Jim's doing decks. Say hi, Jim.
Hi.
Doing a little project with our paravanes. We pulled this one in. Do you want to explain what we're up to?
Sure, yeah. The rope connection, sometimes it wraps around the chain and the fish has to do a 360 to unwrap it, and lots of times it doesn't want to do that. And so sometimes it's wrapped around a little as you're cruising, and it causes a chafe. And
look at that.
Yeah, this one's chafed half through actually. And we have chafed one all the way through before. So we're gonna redo this and get rid of some of this bad line and then put some chafe protection on it when we put it back together. It's just been a little, not very important project, but I've been thinking about for quite a while. All right, we got a line cutter. I'm gonna do this through the window, but we have this little guy made to cut lines and seal the ends all at the same time. Cauterize them, yeah. Oh, it's wet. So it makes a good end, so we don't end up with an end like that, and we get rid of those chafed areas all at the same time.
And we're gonna add this, here's a straight one.
Yeah, we're gonna add, this is actually electrical heat shrink for battery cables, but we're gonna put a piece of this on the end, so if it wraps around, it's chafing on this instead of
on the rope.
On the rope. And if we were sailors, we'd probably have leather and the stitching gear and all that, but we're not. So battery shrink wrap. We'll see.
Doing the heat shrink in this breeze, so it's a little bit challenging, but it seems to be working.
It's working, just takes a little longer. All right, I'm here with our Davis weather station from up by the crow's nest. if you remember in Ensenada, if you're watching those videos, you saw me change the battery on it. But this afternoon, it quit transmitting. It quit working. I don't quite understand why. I don't know. So I went back up there and tried a new battery, and the little transmit light did not come on. I don't quite know why, but for some reason this appears to not be working. So I did what anyone would reasonably do. Right? Right, Rosie? Because everybody has a spare one, don't they? We actually do on Sea Venture have a spare entire weather station, so I pulled it out. I remembered we had it. Rosie remembered where it was. Pulled it out of its hidey hole, all wrapped up in bubble wrap, and installed it, and the new one is working just great. So, don't quite know why, but hey, whatever.
We have weather again.
We've got our weather information again, which we really like having, so.
We're making shrimp for dinner, but there's a thief amongst us. This one right here stole one out of the bowl.
He loves them. He loves the shrimp.
Busy. He loves shrimp. He loves crab, and he loves shrimp.
I'm in the pilot house assisting Rosie with cooking, which is mostly staying out of the way. Rosie, where's the shrimp from that we're having tonight?
From Jan and Eric.
In Prince William Sound, a YouTube follower in Prince William Sound with a charter boat that rafted up next to us for a few days, and we went out shrimping and got a bunch of shrimp. So these are shrimp that we participated in catching, can't say more than that, in Alaska with a YouTube follower. So thank you, Eric and Jan, for letting us still enjoy flash frozen shrimp.
With great little messages on every bag.
Yeah, yeah. Even though we stayed on the boat today, it was a great day. Got a bunch of little tiny projects done that you probably saw. Now it's time for orange shrimp over wild rice with roasted vegetables for dinner. And then relax this evening. And we are off tomorrow morning from Bahia Tortuga. So this video will publish right as we're leaving or shortly thereafter. And then watch for the next day's video will be our cruise out of Bahia Tortuga to our first anchorage. The plan is the next 4 days will all be cruising days. There'll be day hops to Magdalena Bay and the gray whales hopefully down there that we'll get to experience. So keep joining us and have a great evening. Good night, everybody.